So it is time for a little experiment. Oftentimes I tell people that the place that I am most happiest in is when I'm driving, particularly this vehicle. So I thought I'd do a little experiment, see what it comes out to be. Of course, there are things that do kind of tick me off, which I'll probably end up going over when people do them to me on the road. People do some pretty confusing stuff on the road that I really don't understand. Let's see. In a lot of places I can understand why people fog out their taillights and their headlights. I don't really understand it a whole lot when they make it like pitch black though. Because it turns it from being cool into a safety hazard. I've literally had times where I cannot see people's taillights or even their headlights at all. I mean, with headlights, I guess that's where HED conversion kits come in handy. Because they're so bright. So now I'm just heading to school. Nothing big. Except for the fact that the sun's in my window. I go through this every day. Part of the reason I wear sunglasses. Fun stuff. At least my car doesn't sound like a screaming banshee now that I have that Rosetta joint replaced. I also don't understand why people can't use their blinkers. It takes 2 seconds and it turns itself off in most cases, unless it's broken. Like in the case of our motorhome, to turn it on, we have to hold it up on one side. You're turning like, I think it's left, you have to hold it, or else it won't stay on. The latch on it is broken. And like my case, or in the case of most vehicles, you just flick it on and it does the rest. I know I'm being a little bit unfair there because some people, the bulbs go out and you do have to replace the bulbs, which is fun. But for the most part, you see people and they act so unpredictably on the road. Make sure everything's good, just like you're supposed to. Heading north, and it is 46 degrees Fahrenheit outside. 46 degrees Celsius, it would be kind of weird. The other thing I don't understand, when you're driving, and for example, when I'm heading south, and the turn lane is in, you've got your fast lane, and then the turn lane's on the other side of the fast lane, people will speed up and go around you solely just go around you. They'll be behind you. They'll speed up, gun it, and then go around you just to get into the turn lane, which they could have been in just by staying behind you. I don't understand it. It's a form of aggressive driving. I mean, it causes more of a safety hazard than anything else. Because first off, you're pissing off the person who you just went around. They're sitting there going, "What the shit was that about?" Possibly causing road rage there. You're possibly causing an accident with yourself because you're cutting off the person who you were just behind and now you're ahead of. And third off, you're using gas. You have to accelerate to get around that person, so you're using more gas than theoretically you could be. I guess it's emotion over logic, but I'm not so much good at emotion over logic. I'm more of a logical person, so, well, at least in most cases. And the traffic going north is, it's pretty busy. Southbound looks to be pretty slow, though. Looks like there's nobody really in those lanes. Oh, no, I stand corrected. There's a big flow of cars coming up. Basically, what I'm doing here is the stuff that I'd normally be thinking and saying out loud, so you can get an idea of what's going through my head when I drive. There's Young Scholars. Kind of went there for about 6-7 years. Then off to River Valley. MCC. Going about 50 miles an hour. Going around the turn. And now we are heading northeast. And the temperature has risen because, the surface temperature of the car changes as you drive to 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Speed up a little bit going up the hill before I go down the hill because my car acts a lot differently than most going down this hill. Most people accelerate, I do not. I usually lose about 5 to 10 miles an hour going down this hill, which now we're starting to drop. Another thing I don't understand, people always slam their brakes on going down this hill. All you're doing there is wearing out your brakes. You've got plenty of braking points, once you get down the hill, which, for me isn't so much of a problem because I was going 60, now I'm down to 55, which is about what I like to do. By the time I get to the bottom of the hill, I'll be going 50. And then the other thing is, when they do brake like that, they do like what these people here are doing, and they get down to like 40, and then they speed back up. What's the point of that? You're wasting more gas because you have to accelerate again. Which, there's the stoplight right here, but when it's green, that means you can go. And of course, when it's red, that means you have to slam on your brakes, regardless of if you are, regardless if you are slowing down already or not, just because this is downhill. Next to Woody's here. This is actually right next to where I had my last accident. The guy rear-ended me, and that was not fun at all. Looks like I can get over. Honestly, that's the other thing, is I love that little dingy noise that the blinker makes. So I probably use my blinker more than I need to, but I swear the ride in this thing's been so much different ever since we got that Rosetta joint in the front drive shaft. Replaced basically. It was so extremely loud and rough when you tried to drive it, and now it's smooth. This is the noise you're hearing is probably getting amplified by the microphone in the phone, but yeah, I had to use my phone. I don't have a GoPro or anything yet. I want to get a GoPro so that I can mount it to the outside of my car, but or to my head if I wanted to do it to my head. But you know, it's a nifty little device. It's just it's expensive. Just in the same way that car parts are expensive. I mean, technically you can put it under a car part because it'll mostly be attached to your car, most likely, but you know, it's optional. It's like I want to get a roof rack, I want to get rock rails, things like that. It's all optional. It's not a necessity. In the same way that having a stereo is not really a necessity, but it's nice to have. When you're off-road, or in particular when you're doing overlanding and things where you need a lot of supplies, a roof rack is nice to have. You can get like jerry can mounts for it, so you can lock 2 jerry cans up on top there. They make, you know, spare tire mounts, so you can lock your spare tire up there. And then you can even go as far as high lift jack. That one you can actually build any of them you can really build the mount for, but that one's particularly simple to build a locking mount for. I'm in the parking lot. That's a good spot, but Probably funny that they've got a parking spot right where the speed bump is, right here. I think I will probably go around. I think that's going to be where the best spot's going to be. It's 11:59, an hour before my class, because why not? Alrighty, yeah, it looks like there's some good parking over here today. Do the goofy turns in this parking lot. Come around. There's a guy pulling out. I'll let him get all the way out. That's the other thing, is in this parking lot, people are in such a big hurry to get out of here after class. It's like, you can't be courteous. Just want to go home, just like you. I let you out, you should let me out. Alrighty. The thing about this Jeep is it's very deceptive in size. It looks and feels really big, but you can get into these tiny little parking spots very comfortably. Like there, I've got pretty good room on both sides. I'm gonna check. Yeah, pretty good room over there. Should be good. I've still got an hour before class, but I get here early all the time. It's kind of cool to just hang out and see who you know. Or to sit in the car. In this case, I've got the seat warmer. Turn off the car. You know, I've got the seat warmer, so I can just sort of sit here and it's warm and it's comfortable in here. I tell you, this is the most comfortable car I've ever driven. Gets dusty fast, though. That's the thing about having a black dashboard. It's like, oh, dirt. And then you Swiffer it or you clean it off, and it's like, the next day, oh, more dirt. The big thing is, you'll notice there wasn't any squeaking or anything. I finally found the correct door clips for these back doors. So now whenever you go over bumps, it's not like, So,